Hello, Carl here with Sustainability Theory News. I'm over at OregonLive.com and they have some tips from a horticulturalist from Oregon State University talking about why winter is the best time to help prevent problems with your fruit trees rather than trying to solve them later. They talk a little bit about pruning, and that is very important. You really have to do most of your pruning when a tree is dormant. You can do some pruning, of course, when a tree's in its full, lush growing stages, but it can shock the tree more than if it was dormant. Plus, all the extra wood that you cut off the tree when it's pruning, you can take that, put a little bit of rooting hormone at the base, or maybe some willow sap, which is a natural rooting hormone. Stick that in the ground, you got a whole new tree with the same genetics as the parent plant. But they really go into detail about some organic pesticides that we'll talk about here. First one they talk about is horticultural oil. Now they talk about superior oils specifically, but there's many horticultural oils out there like neem oil, for example. Now, whatever you spray on there, it's good to add a little bit of natural soap as a wetting agent. Now, of course, if it's wintertime, it's going to be cold. You have to make sure it's just above freezing. But the plant can't break its dormancy yet. So January, February, there are probably a couple of days in that time frame, maybe in early March, at least in the northern hemisphere. Of course, that's reversed in the southern hemisphere. They also talk about lime, sulfur, and copper. Now, the key is to follow the instructions. I might even test some of these products on trees while they're not dormant to see if it burns the leaves or anything, because a little too much of any products really can harm the soil, harm the beneficial microbes. But typically horticultural oils are pretty good, but they're indiscriminate killers of insects. So your beneficial insects might get killed, or at least their population might be somewhat decimated by it. Lime sulfur is a fungicide, and copper is also a fungicide and a bactericide, so it can help prevent bacterial infections from getting onto your plants. They also have some good tips down here, although some of them might not be good for a permaculture operation, like clear weeds from around the trunk where insects and rodents can hide. Well, a lot of times that's where the ladybugs and the praying mantises will lay their eggs, is in those old dead weeds at the base of the tree. And of course, you may have some other beneficial plants like mint or garlic at the base of the tree that helps repel pests away. But this tip here, clean up fruit, leaves, and debris under the tree, it's typically a decent idea. Not all the debris, not any of the beneficial leaves, but one, you got to clean up the extra fruit. And if there's any fruit left over on the tree, pick it as soon as possible, because it tells the tree that, hey, I need to produce more fruit next year because I need to reproduce my seeds. If you leave the fruit on there, then the trees will think, oh, well, I produced too many seeds this year. Maybe next year I don't need to produce as many. And also another good tip, accept a little damage to fruit. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Even if you use massive amounts of non-organic pesticides, odds are you're going to get some damaged fruit. So just try to manage the population, have a wide variety of different types of fruit trees, and try and encourage beneficial insects to the gardening plot or the farm or orchard, wherever you're at. I will link to this article in the description so you can read more about it, and if you'd like to see more news headlines like this, subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.